or the Zoom rather.
Hi everybody, welcome to Monday 3 Masterclass. I'm Taylor Williams, New York Theater Workshop's casting director. We're broadcasting this talk from Zoom and simultaneously streaming on Facebook Live. We're so happy to have you all here with us. This class and all of the workshop's virtual programming is offered free and available to the entire NYTW community. If you are in a position to support our work, we hope you'll consider donating. You'll find a link to donate in the chat if you're using Zoom and in the comments if you're joining us on Facebook. The class today will be about 90 minutes. We'll work with some students live on camera and then we'll open it up to Q&A. If you have a technical or logistical question about the platform, please share your question via the Q&A tab vis-a-vis Zoom or comment vis-a-vis Facebook. When we get to the Q&A portion, feel free to share your questions for the panelists via the same mechanism. And if you're on Zoom and someone asks a question you're interested in, you can upvote it by clicking the thumbs up. On Facebook, you can use the like feature. We'll do our best to get to all the questions in the time that we have. This class, as with all events facilitated by NYTW, is a safe space. Artists and participants are encouraged to engage with the class in a respectful and positive manner. Now, please allow me to introduce our wonderful teacher for today's class, one of my favorite performers, Dito van Reigersberg. Dito is a co-founder of Pig Iron Theater Company, and Dito's cabaret alter ego, Martha Graham Cracker, has played to great acclaim around the country and has recently released her first album, Lashed but Not Leashed. Dito, will you please join me?
Here I am.
Yay!
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm gonna disappear now. Have fun.
Oh, I'll miss you.
I will too.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Oh my God, there's 73 people here. I was going to just introduce very quickly sort of my philosophy, if I can say that, about cabaret, and then I was going to get us kind of moving and experimenting with the cabaret form. I would say that one of the weirdest things to do in terms of studying cabaret is to do anything virtually. So this is a strange experiment. I've never taught, I mean, I've sort of taught cabaret virtually a little bit, but it's, please bear with me because it may not translate well. But what I guess what I should begin by saying is, to me, cabaret is, the great advantage and excitement about cabaret is that it's a very active relationship with the audience. I hope everyone knows what a fourth wall is. The fourth wall is the idea in, I guess, in realistic or naturalistic plays that there is a barrier between the actors and the audience, and there's sort of this idea that we're, as audience, we're kind of like peeping toms looking through the fourth wall and seeing reality happen before our eyes, which is one art form, certainly. But to me, what's exciting about cabaret is that that fourth wall is never implied. So it's always kind of, it's a form that insists on a conversation that's happening between the audience and the performer. And what's exciting about that is that I think cabaret can really respond to world events or current events or local events in real time. It can really refer to something, to life as we're living it, because even as much as we, as playwrights are producing plays that are current, they're still not able to keep up with how quickly the world is changing. And cabaret's advantage is that it's always happening on the day it happens. So one example I like to give is that songs, the meaning of songs often change with the time. And that's a really exciting way that cabaret engages with its time. I've been singing the Aretha Franklin song, Who's Zooming Who, a lot lately. And of course, because it has a different meaning, which is sort of a goofy, ridiculous example. But then a more sobering example would be that Justin Vivian Bond, who used to do a show called Kiki and Herb, was performing in Philadelphia on the night of 9/11. And they were doing the show that they had already been doing many times. But the show included the song Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, which has a lot of lines about like, if I could, I'd make a deal with God. I'd be the one running up that building, which came from Kate Bush's imagination, I think in the 70s or 80s. But suddenly the song had this like very intense meaning, and there was this crazy kind of hush as Justin Vivian Bond, aka Kiki, sang that song in that moment. Anyway, so that's a way in which cabaret can really mark time in a really beautiful way. What else about cabaret? Yeah, there's a really active relationship with the audience, the performer and the audience. So my poor victims, the participants in this workshop, thank you all for coming. I sent them each 2 verbs, and I'm going to sort of explain what the verbs do in a moment. But the idea is that a way of activating the performer-audience relationship is to think about what you're doing in terms of a verb that you're doing to the audience, which I think I kind of stole from method acting or realistic acting, and that there's sort of this idea about what is the verb I'm I'm using in this scene or with my partner. What's my what activates me? So we're going to work on activating a song, a very simple song, using these verbs. But before we do that, I wanted to do something else. So can actually all the participants show their video? All 14 of you? Yes, yes. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to like do a very quick warm up. And one of the things about warming up, so as part of Pig Iron for many years, one of the few things that is a constant in Pig Iron's work is that we always warm up. And that's sort of a way to remind us that our bodies are part of, and our voices are part of what we're doing, and we can't just sort of like walk in off the street and just do it. But yeah, it just sort of allows us to get more in touch with what, you know, our bodies. So I'm going to stand up. Feel free to, if you can't stand up, you can remain seated. But I just want you to yawn and stretch, and just sort of reach in all the directions of the compass, up and down, and this feeling of yawning. And then actually make the sound of yawning, if you can. Good. And then just go ahead and piano finger your face. Sort of play the piano on your face, waking it up. It's hard when you're in quarantine. You don't wake up in the same way, especially if you don't leave the house for very long. So pianoing your face, and then shaking the sky like this, and allow that to shake your jaw. Good, and then just shake out your knees like this, bouncing like you're on a strange roller coaster. Let sound come out. And thump out your chest. And what would cabaret be without a shimmy? So let's shimmy. Good. And then just stretch, arching up into this one side, stretching along those ribs, opening them up like an accordion, and then release that and do the other side. Yes. Good. And then something I enjoy just to energize a little bit, get up on the balls of your feet and tap your heels into the floor. It's a little bounce. It should feel like, oh, I'm ready, I'm ready. Yeah, do you all feel that? I'm ready. Give me a thumbs up if you feel it. Good. Good. Yes, it's like, throw the ball to me. I'm ready, I'm ready. Give me that fake fur coat. I'm ready. Okay, good. Let that go. And then just take your tongue and give yourself a tour of your teeth. With the tongue. You can make sound as you do this. Play around with the range of your voice. And then, Bill is hilarious. And then go ahead and press your jaw muscles and press in towards the fingers towards each other. And just feel how these muscles that are just in front of the ears, see if you can press and release some tension. You can alternate between pressing them towards each other and circling. And if it makes you feel like yawning, you're doing it really right. I congratulate you if you yawn. and coming from the top of your range on down through blown lips like this. And again. Then a little motorcycle sound, a V in the front of your mouth. Change it to a Z. And then just shake it all out. Great, great. Wonderful. Come back to me. Okay. So you may have been wondering, can everyone turn on their voices actually too? Unmute yourselves. Yes. Then it feels like we're actually in a room together.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you hear an ambulance go by, you might want to mute yourself, but otherwise you can keep unmuted. And oh my God, you're in outer space, Joyce. So actually, we're going to do what I just did. So part of what feels dangerous about cabaret, besides that there's a lot of drinking that happens, but the reason that the drinking has happened is, I think, to release a feeling that we are freer than we are in our normal humdrum everyday lives, all buttoned up. So I want to call on someone to just observe this group as an audience and just to say what you observe. Would you raise your hand if you are willing to do that? Anybody? Anybody? Just, oh, Joyce.
Half of the people's video is off.
No, just these people. The 14 of us. So we're all going to stay on. And Joyce, your job is just to say what you see. And it doesn't have to be anything in particular. You can just say, like the way I said, oh, Joyce, you're in outer space.
I think someone's wearing a bodice.
Exactly. Great. So that you've already begun. You're just gonna take observations from what you see of this group.
I see lots of white backgrounds. Like we all live in nice white apartments.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was not clear. I was gonna just have Joyce do this exercise first.
Okay.
And then we can go on to you. Yeah.
So just keep observing things?
Yep.
All right. Well, there's a blue wall behind you. We're both wearing red.
Yes.
There are a lot of white walls. I see somebody else has like Bill has a light blue background. It's more like a painting or some picture of like a tropical, I see like a tropical ocean. This is a nice setup back here, Ari. I like the interior and the angles, the lamp and all. That's very nice.
Aaron's house, not my decorating.
Oh, well.
Take credit.
You don't need to. I feel like, Amy, don't I know you from school? Or some school?
I don't know. It's been a hot minute since
Okay. I feel like I know your name. We never had a single activity together.
Well, Amy Jo Johnson was the pink Power Ranger, so sometimes people.
Oh, her work.
Released a movie with Felicity Huffman.
There is? No way.
Yeah, she's director.
Great. So, this is no. This is excellent. This is excellent. And then we started going down the alley of like, where do I know Amy from? But already there was a feeling. I especially noticed when you sort of pointed out Ari out of nowhere. Ari was like, "Oh, you're talking about my space." That there's a feeling you like wake everyone up as the performer, and that's sort of that's a certain power that it just sort of says like, I can see you, and you don't have there's no safety net So let's make sure that we're clear that this is an exchange. And yeah, there was even the way that Bill reacted to your description of his background. He was like smiling and a little bit sheepish and excited. And so all of that sort of breaks down all the social shells that we all put up to live our lives and to be on the subway. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
Janelle, would you like to go next?
Sure.
Just say what you see.
Things that I see. Rosamond has on blue lipstick, and it looks like maybe they have on a blue blouse or top, and I like that matches. I see a tattoo on Cheryl's arm that I'm always like, ooh, tattoos are cool. Connor has on banging sunglasses.
These are glasses.
Oh, these are regular. Those are, oh my goodness, even cooler.
Thank you.
Things that I see. There are bananas in Lena's background, and I'm thinking about bananas. Courtney has these really cool asymmetric and like abstract paintings in her background, and then Marilyn Monroe on her wall. That's gorgeous thing.
I'm a super in Brooklyn, and I work in this building. I live in the basement. This isn't my apartment. And that's not my accent either.
That's super cool still. It's a cool space to be in.
Yeah.
Bill has a mustache and a tiny goatee. Amy Jo has like pinkish hair and a lot of light switches. There are like 4 on one side and then 1 on the other.
Yeah. Great. So in a weird way, we're also playing the game with Janelle. We're like, what do I see? But also, it just makes us alive to the moment. And let's just try one more person. Let's see who wants to go next. Jeffrey.
Let's see here. I don't know why, but Amy's names just like sound so familiar. I felt like I somewhere. Let's see. Cheryl has like this really cool like off-white background, which just looks so dope. Same with Courtney's background, which just she got like all these dope paintings. Like I love dope paintings. I'm looking at I just noticed Sarah has like this cool thing in the background. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. I like it. And then Janelle has some cool things in the background. Move over to your left a little, Janelle. I just want to see what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, that's a nice thing. Thank you. Lena has some bananas in the background. They don't look quite ready to eat.
You're right.
Bananas are the star of the show.
And then Joyce obviously has an awesome outer space background. And then Bill has a really cool background, and then I like the way he's dressed. Nice jacket, by the way. And a little tip black and white eye kind of reminded me of the Elvis Jailhouse Rock vibes, but dope. And let's see, is there any? Ari hasn't shown any love. She got a nice little background. All right, let me just show. And Emma got some nice paintings too. Just trying to show a little love to everybody. All right, let's go.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Yeah. So in a way, one of the things, especially as Martha Graham Cracker, that I do when I'm performing, sometimes I try to prepare myself. We rehearse the songs. I figure out like what's going on in the world right now. What do I want to talk about? What's a funny thing that happened to me last week or what I heard about? So there's all this ammunition of things I could talk about or discuss, but it's really an improvisation. One of the ways I really ground myself in the performance as Martha Graham Cracker is that I'm always like, there's never nothing There's always something. Look around you, be in the room with the people, and they will give you all the material you need. Like I started to know someone took notes. I think Amy Jo took a note. so just being alive, that touches me deeply. I hope that was a very deep comment that I just said. So just being in the same room, just by observing, is a way in which this relationship between performer and audience becomes alive and becomes more activated. I think we can stop doing that and move on to the next thing. So the next thing is we're going to sing a song, but a very simple song, a song that goes like this. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Is everyone pretty familiar with this song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there anyone who doesn't know this song? Raise your hand. Okay. We're going to teach it to you, Lena.
Okay.
Okay, ready? It's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
The words are row, row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat.
Gently down the stream.
Gently down the stream.
Merrily, 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 like happily.
Marilyn, 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 Marilyn.
4 times. Life is but a dream.
Life is but a dream.
Okay, now we're going to sing it. Let's say in this key. Row, 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 row your boat.
Marilyn, Marilyn, Marilyn.
Come with Zoom, everyone's like a little bit delayed for me. We'll never be a choir like this because I was like, oh, we're all off.
Round. We're singing in a round.
Lena, I put the lyrics in the chat.
Oh, you're
So nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Okay, I'll sing it one more time just to be clear. We have the melody. It goes, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Marilyn,
Marilyn,
Marilyn, Marilyn.
Life is
Life
but
is but a dream.
Yeah, it's like a song that American children sing quite often. So we're going to use this song as because most people are very familiar with the song. We're going to use it, and this is where I want you to pull out your verbs. So I want you to think about, I want you to take the first verb that you have. Janelle's already laughing. I want you to take the first verb that you received from me that you people who are not panelists did not get at all. And you're going to sing the song using that verb, and you're going to sing it to us. Okay? Does that make sense? Does anyone have if you have a question, private chat me. But otherwise, let's just kick it off. Let's try it. Does anyone volunteer to go first? All right, Amy Jo, let's go. And remember, you're singing with this verb to us.
Right. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Come on, everybody. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream.
Ooh.
That was amazing. Do we have any guesses as to what the verb was? Raise your hand if you think you know what the verb was. Janelle.
I just thought, is gusto a verb?
I don't know, but there was a lot of gusto.
I just know Liza Minnelli is not a verb. I was like, definitely like vibe.
I was like, sign me up for this.
Liza, actually.
Connor.
Was it to rouse or to like encourage?
Oh.
Mm.
Are we close, Amy?
It's
Amy
close.
Pretty
I would
close?
say that's in the same general ballpark.
Emma Jane.
To enchant us.
Oh gosh, thanks.
I think that was a byproduct, but I think it was something like to encourage us, right?
Do you want to know what it was?
Was it to rally?
It was to unite.
To unite us.
Mm.
That was great.
Not encourage or to get us to vote for you.
Yeah.
Guide us in voting.
I really liked how you added the "come on." And I often feel when people are singing songs, especially songs that are well known, and one of the joys of singing in cabaret is often that you sing a well-known song, but you give it a twist or you give it your own spin. I feel like people don't give themselves permission enough to do something like that, to be like, I want to go, come on, in the middle of the song to make it my song, to do it with my verb. Yeah, and I think permission in general is a word that comes up a lot in terms of what makes cabaret great. So thank you for being our first guinea pig. Who is next? Cheryl Marie.
Okay. All right. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Ooh, who knows what it is? It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Emma Jane?
Kindergarten teacher us.
Yes, it was like teaching.
Yeah. Educate.
Was that it?
No,
No, not to
To
teach.
surprise us.
it's very close.
To surprise us is close.
To intrigue us,
Close? Yeah, it's like along the
Plain? because it to build anticipation. No, that's not.
Yeah,
A
it
I know what. Wait, Sarah, did you have a thought?
I was also thinking teach.
Uh-huh.
To teach.
That's just the teaching artist in me coming out. But it was to keep us on our toes.
To keep us on our toes. Yeah, because you had that little like semi-pause but before you would end each line. You're like,
the good old anticipation.
exactly. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Next person. Yes, Jeffrey.
I'll go.
Hit it.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Woo! That was hot. Wait, did someone guess?
To romanticize?
To romance us.
To
Close?
serenade.
Ooh, yeah, I was gonna say serenade. This is a verb. It's a big verb.
Flirt with us? To flirt with us?
Yeah, like
Were you telling us you loved us? Take me out to dinner first, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, before you tell us what it was, you had this kind of the way you were singing really softly at the very beginning. I just really appreciated that flavor. Will you sing the whole thing with a little bit of that like softness?
All right.
And do the verb.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Okay, now do it like super big. So as if you're like, we could win $10,000 if we all guess the right verb. So do it so clearly.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yes, Biggie. That seemed like to praise us.
Ooh, almost there. Damn it, almost there.
Comfort us?
To uplift us?
Yes, lift us up, yes, Emma, you got it.
Yes, to uplift us.
That was what I was thinking.
To lift us up was the exact the words you sent, Martha.
Yes, to lift us up. And it's funny because actually that phrase, to lift us up, I feel like you could interpret that in a bunch of ways. Yeah, but I felt like the first one was like, I'm gonna lift you up real slow, like when
Yeah,
you're like,
I know. That's why I had to do like the arm movements to try to get into it. I was like, lift, up. I was trying to give you clues.
But I think I like the first one was so nice because it was like, you know, when you're like, maybe I just burned something, so I'm gonna use the spatula real gentle like to see if I can lift it up. That's what I thought you were doing. Next person. Emma Jane.
Okay, just remember I'm doing my verb. I'm not trying to be mean.
You can be mean to us, we'll take it.
Okay, losers. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Oh my God, Emma Jane.
To mock us?
To taunt you?
To rise?
To tease
To
us.
bully?
To tease us.
It was a little like intense. Sorry, I got like bullied.
You bullied us basically. No,
yeah,
are you kidding? It was great. It was great. And actually, someone once said that cabaret is this weird form where people go and they love for the performer to make fun of them or to tease them or taunt them or actually like to put them down. Like sometimes people are like, it's so weird. In the safety of the cabaret, they're like, yeah, make fun of me. Taunt me. Tell me how stupid I am. I love it.
Like, okay, babe.
I can't explain it, but it's true in cabaret, maybe not in real life.
Well, maybe I'll incorporate that. I could have done tease as in like tease, and I was like, that feels weird. I'm gonna do the mean one.
No, you were like the mean girl on the playground tease.
Which is cool. I didn't get to do that in real life.
Well,
I was the TZ.
the TZ. All right, who's next? I feel like it's Rosamond.
Sure. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
To tell us a secret.
To warn us?
Exactly.
To warn us. That was great. I was like, what weird word is this? People were like, they're coming any minute. That was exciting. That was a really exciting way of hearing that song. I just want to see it again. Will you do it again?
Sure. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Like, row away.
Yeah. The looking behind you, that really like.
This is how Tonight from West Side Story should be sung. Someone could come any minute and pop us in the air. That's lovely. All right, next person. Bill? I feel like it's Bill's turn, and then Courtney.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Whoa.
Scare.
Intimidate.
Intimidate.
To intimidate us.
Oh, nice.
Bill, and that was excellent. There was something very sexy about Bill intimidating us. I think Emma and Bill should be on a team together and like just work the playground.
Ruin everyone's life.
It's so funny how different verbs have different rhythms, like, and you were so still and so, yeah. It's kind of amazing sometimes the power of stillness. I was like, yipes! It kind of pushed me back. Courtney, it's your turn.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Oh. I don't know what it was, but it felt so good.
To relax?
Like
soothe us?
Yeah.
Calm?
Yes, to calm.
Hey, I got one! And
That's what I need more than anything right now. whenever I start thinking about like how long will this quarantine last, and if I get into like the fall, if I start thinking about like October and it's still the quarantine, I'm like, I have panic attacks, and I need you to sing that.
I was gonna say, you should. I'll give you my number. You should call me. But I think it might be that long.
Exactly. Do we have one more person? Connor.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Does anyone have any guesses, or should we make Connor do it again?
I can do it again.
I think again.
Do it again. Let's do it forever.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Are you seducing us?
You were
Are you
seducing
seducing
us.
us?
You were
Are you
trying to
seducing us?
lure us into your tiger farm to take care of your tigers.
Oh no.
It's a
Going on?
tiger king.
That tiger stuff, you know, I just really like the patterns. No, it's to flirt.
Yeah.
To flirt.
Flirt.
Yes. It was funny because it was like flirting, and you were like, I felt like you were using a strange art of reminiscing. You were like, remember when?
Remember when we used to row that boat, Dito? Remember when we used to row that boat?
It really, and then you were like, it really was a dream. Mm. Oh my God. And then we just got so close to your lips.
So close. Just like that time on that boat.
And yet so safe. All right. Does anyone else want to go with these verbs?
I'll go.
Okay, Janelle.
Okay.
Is that Janelle?
That was Janelle.
Okay. Hit it, Janelle.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Was that to delight us? Because it did.
It was lovely. It felt like, do you know the song, there's a song called Lazy Afternoon from the Golden Apple?
Oh, that sounds familiar, but maybe no.
It had the feeling of like, I just want you to calm down so I can whisper sweet nothings in your ear. Is that close?
Were you seducing us? Were you actually seducing us? Because that was seductive.
Yes, seduce.
Oh, okay, all right. But I liked how you kind of like, part of seducing us was like, slow down, you move too fast. Slow down. And I was like, okay. It worked on me. Okay, anyone else want to go? Yes, Lee. This is, you don't know this song very well, but you're going to do it.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Oh no!
Like grieving us or mourning us?
Are you?
You were like
longing for us?
Grieving or
Are you missing us?
Lamenting.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Lamenting, yes.
You were lamenting to lament with us.
Yes.
That was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I really, like it's a lot of, see, this is, I don't want to lecture too much, but in this world that we live in, that's all like about, where we're watching The Voice and those chairs that spin around and people are like, technically your voice goes, like people are concentrating so much on the technicalities of vocal production. And I'm going to just take it from the other direction and say like, that shit doesn't matter. If you listen to singers who really move you, a lot of them are not perfect. And actually sometimes perfection is kind of yucky. And what you really want is to hear the song activated in the way that Lena just did it, that you're like, oh, she feels something about the song, I feel something, I care about it, and it's very specific, and it has a point of view, and that's so much more important than like someone who's like, I can hit a high C without cracking. Like that is fine and dandy, but that's not, to me, that's not everything. And that makes you a technician, but that doesn't make you Edith Piaf. Or even, who else? Edith Piaf, or who's the woman that I love so much? She's gone. Her name is gone now. I'll think of her later. But one thing I would like to say about Edith Piaf before we move on is Edith Piaf had this famous remark, which relates to what I guess I was saying about voice. She said, use your faults, use your defects, and you too can become a star. So, which is all to say, which is sort of the opposite. So when I went to acting school, we did this horrible day where everyone got typed, where everyone was sort of like told how they fit into the into the mechanism that is the business of show business. And so you know, people are like, you're a romantic lead, or you're a character actor, or you're not an ingenue, but you are this. And I'm just here to say that's bullshit. And part of what makes cabaret so exciting is it's a much more there's so much more freedom in it, and you can sort of say like, I want to be this character, and this is what my soul wants to express right now. And there's a lot more freedom in that, and there's a lot more and I think there's a lot more revealing of what makes you unusual, and like makes what gives you that like fingerprint of who you are totally uniquely. There's someone who's drilling right outside my door, so hold on. I'm just going to close this window. Here I go, closing the window. And, well, that didn't work. I can't even close the window.
We can't hear it. Don't worry.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, we're good. Can't hear nothing.
Good. Does anyone else want to go with this before we move on?
Are we all supposed to go for this exercise?
You're not all. There's no requirements. But Joyce, I was feeling sad that you hadn't gone. Who hasn't gone? Joyce hasn't gone. Sarah hasn't gone, and Ari hasn't gone. Let's just do it, everybody. Yeah, Bill says, come on. Bill says, why are you holding back? Okay, so who wants to go first? Joyce?
I'll go.
Okay.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Wow.
To inspire us?
And very specific.
To motivate us?
To rally us?
Yeah.
We said rally at the same time.
Really close.
To
push us.
Not inspire, not
not inspire.
It's not inspire, right?
Damn it, it's not inspire.
Ignite.
Close.
Energize.
Galvanize.
To empower?
Fire us.
Motivate.
It's just a matter of imagery.
It's just a matter of what?
Imagery, like the metaphor. But
Oh, what
all
is
the
it?
things.
What is the metaphor?
It's to fire us up.
So yeah, I did. I was like ready.
Yeah. It felt like it was coming from the bottom of your feet, and you were just like, here comes this.
Let us go.
Will you do it again? Just so we can see you doing it now that we know the verb?
Just so you can see me what?
Just so we can see it again now that we know the verb. I think
Oh, okay,
I just want to like focus on what you're doing now that I know what you're doing.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yes, it changed the melody. You were like, I need to fire you up so badly. I'm like, this is how this song ends for me. Now there was something about the way you were singing it that had this like quaver. You know, you're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This quaver in your voice. I'm not picking on you, but will you do it again? And will you just exaggerate the quaver even more?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yes,
That was North,
beautiful.
like a North Irish like freedom song.
It's true. It's true, and it had a kind of I don't know. You had a character that was starting to reveal itself. I was like, oh, that's another person that's not, that's not you. So that was kind of cool. Who's next?
I'll go.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
To beg us?
Beg us?
Please.
Beg us.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Right.
Yes, to beg us. Okay, will you do it again?
Okay.
And I loved that, like the urgency and the how you were doing it so quickly. But can you sort of break the rhythm a little bit? Like instead of doing it all fast, like some of it's fast and some of it's in a different speed?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yes, yes. Yes, that had sort of more textures.
Yeah.
That was cool. And I was like, oh, she can hold the last dream for a long time until we give you what you want. Sarah's the last to go?
Yeah.
Sarah, hit it.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream.
Brava, brava. Oh my God, that was so, I want to see a whole show like that. Who has a guess as to what that was?
Were you singing us to sleep? Was it a lullaby?
Not quite.
Be careful.
Kind of.
Were you taunting us a little bit?
Was I what was
Taunting?
with a T?
Yeah.
No, but the rest of the word was
Taunting us. Oh, that was beautiful. Yes, and I think sort of this a thing that I did with Ari, like the way that you kind of played with the rhythm in the way that you haunted us was really nice. But it also felt, I mean, the verb that almost always gets activated in some way or other in cabaret is to flirt. I feel like flirting is a very common.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like ghosts are off. There's like often a flirtatious agenda there.
Yeah, almost like don't forget about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very sweet kind of flirting. It was like it wasn't like carnal. It was like, hey there. It was like tugging at us a little bit. Okay, so everyone went. Is that true?
Yes.
So why don't does anyone have a song that they would like to sing, a song that you already sort of know, where we can apply a verb to it? Raise your hand if you have a song you'd like to. Okay, Ari, Amy, Joe, Connor, Emma. Okay. Okay. Let's see how far we can go, because I think we have until 4:15, and then I do Q&A. I got to go to the Q&A. But let's start. I think I saw Amy first. Amy Jo. Amy Jo. What? And maybe you can do that thing where you click on. You could pin Amy Jo, or am I the only one who can do that? No, you all can do that.
People can do it individually if they
Okay.
want.
So we can see you more bigly. So you have a song that's ready?
Sure.
Is the song one that you could sing with the second verb that I sent you?
Yes.
Great.
It'll be interesting to sustain it through the whole thing, but yes, I think absolutely.
Yeah, well, maybe use it as the starting point, and if it leads you somewhere else, follow that.
I think it definitely leads there. So I think I'll just attack the beginning a little bit differently than normal and see how that
takes. See how that goes. Great.
I'm gonna have to ride the volume a little bit because these karaoke tracks are special. All right.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a little girl, our house caught on fire. I'll never forget the look on my father's face as he gathered me up in his arms and raced through the burning building out onto the pavement. And I stood there, shivering in my pajamas, and watched the whole world go up in flames. When it was all over, I said to myself, is that all there is to a fire? Is that all there is? Is that all there is? If that's all there is, my friend, then let's keep dancing. Let's break out the booze and have a ball. If that's all there is.
Wait, can I stop you for a second? All right. Any guesses as to what the verb is?
I don't know how successful I was in starting with this very heavily featured, but go ahead.
Yeah. Any guesses?
I felt like you were gonna seduce me and then you were gonna kill me. But like I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah. Is that true? There was a kind of like ferocious quality.
Yeah, that's, I would say, is not not normally as strongly featured in the piece as I would usually begin with, but there's definitely.
Right. Well, this is also just an experiment, but what is the verb?
The verb is to attack, which I think is a little easier to like, as the song unfolds.
Yes.
Drop in more and more on the choruses, and it gets, which I think is natural in the song, but I was kind of like leaning on it a little heavier, a little earlier than.
Yeah. But I would push you to actually go much farther, at least for this experiment. And, it would be different if you had a live accompanist because they could actually adjust to this verb. But will you try it again? Let's just go from the beginning again and get to where we just got to. And I just want you to like go, like if that was like you doing the verb at 20%, I want you to do it 100%.
Okay.
So really like go too far.
All right. Well, you said it.
In terms of the attack.
Yeah. All right. remember when I was a little girl, our house caught on fire. I'll never forget the look on my father's face as he gathered me up in his arms, raced through the burning building out onto the pavement, and I stood there, shivering in my pajamas and watched the whole world go up in flames. And when it was all over, I said to myself, is that all there is to a fire? Is that all there is? Is that all there is? If that's all there is, my friends, then let's keep dancing. Let's break out the booze and have a ball. If that's all there is.
Yes. Okay. A million times more exciting to me. Did that feel fun?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's, I just feel like, I don't know if everyone else felt this, but I was like, oh my God. I mean, I know we're in this virtual medium and it's not particularly good for cabaret, but while we're stuck here, it just felt so much more activated and dangerous. And it made your vocal choices much more extreme in an exciting way. It was really excellent. And I think you're right that you don't for a song is, because that's a pretty long song. It's like a 6 minute.
Actually, 4.5. Yeah. But I mean, long, and there's all those monologues, so I think it feels longer than maybe even the really is.
Yeah, I would say that beginning did not feel too extreme to me. Did it feel too extreme to anyone else? No, it felt like, woo, here we go. She's taking me for a ride. And so, of course, over the course of the song, you might want to finesse where things are less attacked, or the attack leads to something else, or you're like, I attacked you so much that now it's time for me to like apologize to you. But this verb really activates the song in an exciting way. That was a good accident. I didn't know when I sent you to attack that it would be so good. Who's next? Okay, Emma Jane.
Yay. Okay.
You have your verb?
I have my verb, and it kind of is how I play it anyway, but maybe you can help me amp it up.
Yeah, well, let's take a page out of Amy Jo's book and just be like, whatever you were planning on doing with the verb, do it twice as much.
Okay. Can everyone hear me over this? Okay.
Yeah.
I buy my own things. I pay my own bills. These diamond rings, these automobiles, everything I want, I got it. Boys can't buy my love. No. I do what I want, say what you say. I work real hard every day. I'm a motherfucking woman, baby, alright. I don't need a man to be holding me too tight. I'm a motherfucking woman, alright. I'm just having fun. Are you having fun? I'm a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey.
Did you write that song?
No, it's by Kesha.
Oh, of course it is. Stupid.
I wish.
What is the verb?
The verb was to take us down a peg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you grab up your guitar even more? One more time and just whatever you need to do to adjust the song to you know what, like really like you are gold and we are trash.
Okay. I like to see the gold in everybody.
I know. You apologized before. You were so mean to us before, but don't apologize. Just be like, ugh.
I buy my own things. I pay my own bills. These diamond rings, these automobiles, everything I got, I bought it. Boys can't buy me love. No, no. I do what I want, say what you say. I work real hard every day. I'm a motherfucking woman, baby, alright. I don't need a man to be holding me too tight. I'm a motherfucking woman, alright. I'm just having fun with my ladies here tonight. I'm a motherfucker.
Yeah, the song is so good. Will you just do it one more time? And I want you to like, do you know the word sneer?
Sneer, like, I can't even do it, but like
I smell how bad you smell.
yes, I smell how bad you smell.
Or like, can you imagine looking down your nose at someone?
Maybe I'm like looking down at the computer. Let me put it
Maybe that's good.
on. Oh, okay. I was like, let me put it high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're already doing it.
Like
that
this.
feeling that you're looking down your nose at us. And, yeah. And,
Okay, should I go for it from this angle?
Yes. And I think just before you go, think the words, you don't even deserve this song.
I buy my own things. I pay my own bills.
Yes.
These diamond rings, these automobiles, everything I got, I bought it. Boys can't buy me love. Oh, I do what I want, say what you say. I work real hard every day. I'm a motherfucking woman, baby, alright. I don't need a man to be holding me too tight. I'm a motherfucking woman, alright. I'm just having fun. I'm a motherfucker.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I think you succeeded much more in that feeling of like, you know how you said I wasn't good enough for you? Well, here's a video. Here's a song I wrote about how that is so untrue. Yeah. So I felt a little bit like, oh, the boyfriend who jilted you, who then was like, why did I do that? What you put me in my place in a nice way.
Good.
Yeah.
I usually play this at shows to put all the cis men in their place in the audience.
Well, I felt it. Who's next?
And love for all, but
Cheryl Marie.
Hello.
Hello. Do you have your verb?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you like how it goes with your song?
I think it's gonna be sweet. Hey. Okay. I gotta get my.
Oh my God, this is a whole
Voila.
world.
Yeah, so I developed this for a burlesque show that I MC. But I wanna carry it more into the cabaret world, you know? All right.
What is that made of?
You hear it? This is Tool.
Oh, Tool.
Tool boa. I don't know about you all, but if you're like me, then hanging around this old manhole is bringing it down. 6 feet apart, getting under your skin. Cabin fever is ascending, yeah. You're so crazy, stuck in a rut. You could use a little pick me up. I can give you what it is you crave. A little something from the good old days. I got the wind right here in the sky. I got the rain on top at the bar. I got sunshine up on the shelf. Allow me to introduce myself. Gotta what's my name? My name is Our Lady of the Underground. Gotta what's my name? I Lady of Ways, Our Lady of Means.
Cool. Can I interrupt you? Oh, sorry.
Go on forever.
No, that's lovely. That's lovely. Can I ask what the verb is?
The verb is to hold us.
To hold us. Yes. Well, interesting. I mean, there's ways in which you're like, the verbs were obviously randomized. And I'm wondering like, oh, and to hold us is such an interesting phrase because it means so many different things.
Yeah.
You hold us if you're like, I'm not letting you go, but it also could be like a kind of, the way that Sarah's ghost was maybe like holding us in a very, nurturing, gentle way. So maybe let's go for something extreme.
Ooh, okay.
And imagine that we're all like baby birds, and we all flew into windows, and we're all fluttering around, and we're all in pain.
Okay.
And your job is to make us feel better with your voice.
Okay.
All right. So should we start from the beginning? See, and I think you want to be a little closer to the video.
I don't know about you all, but if you're like me, then hanging around this old man hole is bringing you down. 6 feet apart, getting under your skin. Cabin fever is a setting in, yeah, you're stir crazy, stuck in a rut. You could use a little pick-me-up. I can give you what it is you crave. A little something from the good old days. I got the wind right here in the jar. I got the rain on tap at the bar. I got sunshine up on a shelf. Allow me to introduce myself. Brother, what's my name? My name is Our Lady of the Underground. Good?
Yes.
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Did that feel different?
It did.
Yeah.
Very different.
Well, it just sort of felt like, oh, she has something that she needs to communicate with us, or she has something to do to us.
Yeah.
And I felt the way in which, your voice is made of vibrations, and the vibrations hit us and they can affect us. And so when you think of us as these people who are very delicate and need your support, but you can't like hit us too hard with the vibrations. You have to kind of like let it slow, like gently go in. It just sort of like gives you a really interesting place to work from. I think.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Wait, now I'm going to check in with the people of the NYTW. Do I need to move on to Q&A, or can I do one more? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's Taylor. I said do one more, and then maybe we'll open it up to Q&A. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Great.
Okay, one more. Sarah, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna just point out.
Do you like your verb?
I do like my verb.
Okay.
I do like my verb. I'm gonna come close. I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day. In everything that's light and gay, I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Wow, that song is so great. So can you tell us what the verb is?
The verb was to confide.
Oh, I could feel that. I could feel that it was, you immediately made me feel like, oh my God, she's only talking to me, which is a beautiful superpower. Yeah, it's kind of a perfect, it's a perfect verb for the song, actually.
Yeah.
I think it works really well. And while you were going, I was like, I wonder what would the opposite verb be like? To mow us over with a bulldozer? Like what would be just out of curiosity, I was like, oh, this is working really well with the song. And then the verb that's totally wrong with the song, but could be super interesting is like, what if you're like blasting us with the song?
Yeah.
We could discover something new with that. But maybe now I should go to Q&A. But to think about, and yeah, I want to thank everyone who participated, because I feel like you guys were super warm, super willing, and did beautiful work. So thank you for making yourselves vulnerable in this gorgeous way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And so now, I guess, am I taking these questions? How am I taking these questions?
Hi, Dito. I'm back.
Oh, yes. Are you going to read the questions?
Yes, if that's helpful, or you can read them. It's up to you. But
no, Taylor, you read them. I'm so exhausted from all the work.
oh, I bet. Everybody, you are also great. I just want to say this was such a pleasure to watch everybody work. So special. A big question we got is, Dito, hearing more on your thoughts on engaging with an audience on a virtual platform versus with a live in-person audience. I mean, we got to see how you were able to get everybody here to grab and engage us, but maybe if you could share a little more on your thoughts behind that.
I mean, it's so new to this form of like Zoom entertainment. But I'm hoping that the rules are not that different. And I think this is the way that I was basically doing what I would do to teach cabaret in a classroom, in a room, in physical space. So I think the principles are basically the same. I mean, there's some things about proximity to the camera. There's a way. Sometimes you don't know, because for me it's this computer, like this green eye that's staring at me. I think, does it look like I'm looking at you guys? Yeah. So I kind of, or maybe I need to look higher. I don't know, but the way in which you make it feel like you're actually looking and talking, I think sometimes you need an outside eye to help you make that look right. But other than that, I think it's hopefully the same. And soon we'll be back in cabarets, in real physical cabarets.
Yes, please. Is there anything we can do in this virtual world to deal with the fact that we're not getting a live response from people? Is there are there any tips there, while we're all just staring? I mean, I can barely speak on this thing, so this will be very useful for me to hear, because I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes.
Well, This is the one thing I think I said at the beginning of the Zoom session, that is the one thing that people are like, never say that. But I was like, everyone stay unmuted. And I know that there are reasons why you would mute, but I actually think it allows everyone to kind of space out and for the person who's speaking to feel like they're totally alone. Because even if you just hear the, or like the, or there, those little ways in which people respond, feels like it's important. So my one weird tip that goes against the grain is that everyone should remain unmuted. So
Great.
there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Next question.
Next question. Sorry, I'm reading and talking. Do you have any advice for creating a cabaret theme when you're using a lot of original material?
Oh. I mean, I had this experience, I guess, with Lashed but Not Leashed, where I wrote all these songs with some friends of mine, and then I had to figure out how to put the songs together and what order to put them in. And that, I don't have any good advice, except I think I learned a little bit from albums. You know how like albums are sometimes very beautifully orchestrated in terms of what the first song is, how it wants to end, and sort of the sine curve of the experience. Yeah, like, and I sort of learned by doing the order of the songs that we figured out eventually that became the order. I learned it by doing it a bunch of times in live performance, but yeah, there's like I would say there's two important ballads, and one of them is in the middle, and one is, and that's sort of like a power ballad, the one towards the end. And then and then the other ones are kind of, and the first song is obviously kind of there to like wake you up and to get you excited. And there actually isn't a lot of content that's important in the very first song. It's just sort of like, let's bang down the door, and it's kind of a disco funk song. So yeah, did that help at all? Yeah, thinking about albums.
Yeah, that helps a lot, especially as I make my own cabaret.
That's right, Taylor.
That's right. Everybody watch out. This brings me to my next question, Dito. What made you choose cabaret as your medium? What inspired you to become a cabaret performer?
I guess I saw cabaret performers. I saw Joey Arias, who's still performing to this day. It was amazing. And if you ever want to see an amazing performance of Joey on SNL, he was one of the two backup singers for David Bowie when they sang, what song is that?
It was the boy who sold the world, and also it was two songs. They did two songs, but one of them was the boy.
TVC 15? I think it's TVC 15. Yes, and Man Who Sold the World. Yeah. Anyway, so watching Joey Arias, yeah, I guess seeing cabaret performers when I was in acting school, I think it felt like a nice balance to me, because I was like doing a lot of like monologues and scene work and Shakespeare, and then I was like, what's something that's a little bit more like from me and more fun? Yeah, and I just love the way that Joey Arias would like tease the audience and get everyone like really all like sexed up and riled up, but then like suddenly would sing a song and the room would get totally hushed. You could hear a pin drop. So he had, I was like, oh, you have both of those superpowers. You can make everyone laugh until they're like splitting a gut, and you can make everyone like silent and maybe even cry. Like, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
That's great. Janelle has a question. Janelle, if you want to unmute.
Janelle Lauren.
Yes, me. Was wondering about moving a cabaret set into a review, or the reverse, like moving a review into a cabaret set when you're integrating original material or your own material or like your friends' materials into a piece. Like, when do you think you can do either, or if either is possible?
Oh God, I feel a little ignorant. What's the difference between a cabaret and a review?
See, that's kind of, that's kind of where my question comes from, I think.
Okay. I feel like there are no major rules. And I'm the kind of person who's like, let's make sure there's some weird choices there. Let's not let the audience be too comfortable. So let's make sure that there's like, that there's like a Bjork song and a Stephen Sondheim song. Let's make sure both of those are in the show. Just because I feel like, I don't want people, I think the worst thing for cabaret is for people to know what they, like to lean back like, oh, I know what this show is. I want people to be like, what? What's happening? So that would be my one major piece of advice. Keep them guessing.
Can you share some of your other cabaret inspirations besides Joey?
Besides Joey, the person I couldn't think of earlier is Nina Simone. How embarrassing. Nina Simone is the best. And I feel like Nina Simone is a perfect example of someone who you might be like, oh, that's not a perfect voice. Like technically her voice is not like super trained, but it's so expressive and she means every word. And she also has a wry sense of humor. She's a master. If you haven't listened to Nina Simone, hurry, do it now. So Nina Simone, and I already mentioned Justin Vivian Bond. Taylor Mack is a big inspiration of mine. That's all I can think of.
All great to look up.
Yeah.
Let's see, Bill has a question for you as well.
Hi, Dito. I was wondering how you rehearse cabaret, because sometimes I feel like it's something that has to come out of me. So like I get too embarrassed or scared to practice it or rehearse it. It feels like it has to be something that I can't control how or when it comes out of me. And I'm curious how you found enough confidence to get specific and found ways to work on it before you got on stage.
Before I got on stage. Okay, I have two answers to that question. One is I made my roommates watch me, which was horrible for them. But I made them do it, and I would like sit them down in the living room, and there was like a weird like picture window between the living room and the kitchen, and they would be on one side and I'd be on the other, and I'd be like, watch this. And it was not good, but it was me testing it out in front of people who I knew would not throw tomatoes. But then I would say there's nothing like the muscle of there will be times where you're like, that didn't go so well. But one of the greatest gifts that was ever given to me was that these guys who own a cabaret / restaurant in Philadelphia called Beaumont / Letage, they were like, do you want a monthly slot? And I was like, yes. And I was terrified, but I was like, oh, I guess one of the things that I didn't realize would happen is that even if I was like, I don't have time to prepare, or there was just always a deadline, and deadlines are so important. So, like month to month, I would just be like, oh, it's coming up. There's one more week. I have to rehearse 2 more songs. I have to figure out what I'm going to do, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see what happens for certain things. So that muscle just got stronger from repetition. So any way that you can get yourself on a bill where you're like, I'm just going to sing one song per week and then see for 4 weeks and see how you feel at the end of those 4 weeks.
Great. Ari, did you have a question as well?
Hi, Dito. Thank you for today. I have a question. When you're structuring your show, how much do you write and how much do you improv, and how do you figure that out?
Oh, this is one of the weirdest things that I do. So I have a time where I like meditate before the show. Sometimes if it's like a night show, it'll be like dinner time. I'll go off by myself and I'll just like think about things that have made me laugh or that I've been thinking about in the news, or like a story about what somebody told me about their visit to the dentist, or anything. I'll just like make a list of things that have been percolating. And this is just the way that I do it. And then and I have set the songs in a particular order that's already set, like the band knows to play these songs in this order. And then the interstitial material is improvised, but I have two things that I can lean on. This meditative process before we begin, where I'm like, what about that time when when my nephew said, you can close your eye. Wait, what did he say? You can close your eyelids, but you can never close your eyes. And I don't know why that like struck me, and I was like, I have to remember that. I'm going to say that in the show and see what happens. So that's one thing, like arming myself with material. And then again, going back to the first exercise we did today, remembering that there's always the audience that can give me information. And sometimes a question can be a really important tool in terms of a cabaret experience, because if you ask a question, the question hangs in the air, and the audience can be like, oh, I have to answer that question. Or you yourself can answer the question as you, but it sort of activates the space. Yeah.
And just a quick follow-up, if someone did write scenes for a cabaret, would it no longer be a cabaret in your mind? Would it then be a one-person show? Or do you think there is room for that kind of material within a cabaret?
No, I think there's gradations. I think a lot of cabaret performers have very tightly structured material all the way through. But I think what makes it feel like cabaret is the way in which the audience permeates the membrane of the show. So even if there's a lot of pre-memorized stuff, it always feels like they're addressing us, and something could shift if something happened in the audience. So like, different people have different degrees of comfort around improvisation. So some people are like, listen, I have to write this whole thing out, and I'm going to say it exactly the way I wrote it, and that's the only way I can do it. And I'm like, yes, do that. And as you do that, if you can eventually open yourself up to what's happening in the room in the moment, that might just make it feel a little bit different, or make it feel more cabaret, I guess. And then some people are like, oh, all I have to do is think, tonight is about all the experiences I've ever had with beer kegs, and then they just go, and that's all they need. So I think it also depends on your level of improvisational comfort.
Great. Connor had a question for you.
Yes, Connor.
Hi, Dito. I'm curious what you like. I know we don't like performing in this Zoom world, but I'm curious what you've seen, or like how, because in cabaret, like there's a character, and a character that like you treat a body that like everybody sees live. But I'm wondering how you've seen that treatment of the character translate to like the frame of the Zoom video. Do you know what I mean? Like how have you dealt with that as Martha? Like how do you transform the space that you're in, or do you?
It's hard. It's hard, especially because there's so many moving parts. Like some people, especially because when I sing with a band, like that's for, and you heard what it sounded like when you try to sing "Row Row Your Boat" in this Zoom room, because it's like there's so many different kinds of delay. So there's a way in which this process can be very lonely of like, okay, the drummer and the bassist lay down their versions, their parts of the song, and then we add the keys and the guitar, and then I sing on top of that. So it's like, it's more like recording something than, at least for me, it has been, rather than doing it live. I think if I had more technology or like more technological know-how, it would be easier or better to do it in real time. But that wasn't entirely your question. Your question feels like it's like, how do you adapt cabaret to this format?
Yeah, or just like how do you let the things that that make things clear for an audience, how do you translate that to a Zoom performance? Like
again, like I don't have a lot of experience doing live Zoom performance yet. Soon I probably will have to. But yeah, I just keep coming back to the idea of like unmuting everyone and sort of making sure that it feels like we're all in a room together. Yeah, I guess a lot of people talk about like activating this trajectory, like the depth of space, like that can be very exciting, and like getting in close can make you feel maybe like I'm talking to you. I don't know. But it's a real question, and one that can, if I think about it too hard, I'll get a little depressed about the feeling of like, oh, when my sweaty body is in amongst all the other sweaty bodies, it sort of knows what to do. My performer instinct takes over, and this feels a little bit more clinical. I mean, I feel like we were doing the best we could under the circumstances to make it feel like a direct experience was happening, but yeah, I think check back in a few more months and maybe I'll have more answers to your question.
I didn't mean to make you sad. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna go cry now.
Sorry.
Before you cry, we have one final question.
Yes.
And that is, if you're new to cabaret, what is some advice for getting started, learning more, anything?
Besides the thing I told Bill, which is to make people watch you in your living room. Mm-hmm. Even your cat will give you honest feedback. And trying to get on some sort of regular performance bill or some way to practice getting in front of people, so you use that muscle and you get less afraid of failure, because failure is going to be part of it. What other cabaret tips would I give? I would go back to this thing that Edith Piaf said so long ago, that there's something really important about figuring out what makes you unique. And one of the exercises I didn't give you guys, but which I usually give in a sort of longer cabaret class that goes over time, is I kind of ask people to create a character that is not you, but that reveals something about you. In other words, something that gives you permission maybe to do something that you feel forbidden from doing. Because again, going back to this word permission, I think, and different people have different permissions. Like some people are like, in my house, I was allowed to say fuck as much as I wanted to. And some people are like, I can't believe you just said that, the F word, like, so different people have different rules. And so they're the boundaries of their permission land are different. But I'm always curious to see what character kind of ignites a spark of naughtiness, I guess is the word. Yeah, there's a kind of you can see in people's eyes when they're doing something that they're really excited about doing, or they're playing a character that really has maybe what I would call a motor. There was someone in my class, like once I'd be like, start talking to us in your character, she really couldn't stop. Like it was like, brrr, like there was like endless material. And so there was like a pocket that she would get into, or like a real motor inside that character. And I think you have to pay attention to those motors, and sometimes they'll come in very mysterious ways. Like, and I can't really explain how Martha came, but I know that it felt like once I was like, I'm not Dito anymore, I'm Martha. All this material, all this point of view that was different came. All these, yeah, there was a real centrifugal force to the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who participated in this class. It was so great, so heartwarming, so much fun.
Thank you.
Dito, oh my God, thank you for teaching this class. I adore you. It was wonderful. I want to take your next class.
Okay. Sign up.
I will. Next time I'm in. Before everybody logs off, I just want to tell everybody about some upcoming events. This Wednesday, May 6th, please join us for a conversation with NYTW Tau playwright in residence Victor Casares and usual suspect Ruben Polendo. Next Monday at 3, please join us for a masterclass with director, composer, performer Whitney White. And there's a full list of upcoming classes and chats that you can find by visiting our website, nytw.org. This masterclass and all of the workshop's virtual programming is offered free and available to the entire NYTW community. Yay! All artists who contribute to these online gatherings are compensated, and we are continuing to pay our staff. So if you are in a position to support our work with a gift of $25, $10, $5, or any amount, please consider donating to support our work through this crisis and beyond. You can donate at nytw.org, and there will be a link to a short survey in a post-event email from Zoom or in the comments on Facebook, and please take a moment to share your thoughts with us as we continue to program. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. It really
Thank
warmed my heart
you.
too.
Bye. Thank you.
Care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just you and me, Janelle and Joyce.
Yes, yes. You know, we're the lone survivors.
You're a performer, though. Can I find you online?
Yeah.
You're an artist.
I'm here. I was waiting for everyone to leave so I wouldn't miss anything.
I can't read the meeting.
It's in the bottom right corner, Joyce.
I'm pressing.
But if you have a website, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. I am CF Fun on Instagram and Twitter. Awesome. I want to keep an eye on you. You were fun. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was